Hi everyone, welcome to Puddinwood Avenue. My name is Bindi. So I've come outside because it's a little bit warm here today. The breeze is nice breeze blowing, nice and quiet, lovely background. But as soon as I came out here, the breeze began to blow a little bit harder than what it was. So I've had to put the fluffy part on the microphone. And for some reason, the cicadas have decided they're going to be chirping in the middle of the day. Anyhow, we'll move inside in just a second. So what I wanted to pop on to show you today was I ordered some Ommi hooks from Amazon. Now, I am a huge fan of Jennifer from Cinnamon Stitches, and she loved the Furls hooks. So I bought my first Furls hook, which is still my favourite. It is an eye or a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, and I love this hook. I love it. This is out of a project at the moment, that's why it's not in its case. I went to just a cheap shop and I bought some travel toothbrush holder containers so that I can keep my Furls hooks nice and safe. I've got them labelled, so this is the Furls 6.5 silver. I have what's this one? A 6mm in red. Oh, look at that sexy red colour. Love it. And I think it's a 4.5 in pink. Yep, 4.5 in that very, very pretty pink. So that's what we are comparing with. Now, I did buy a Ommi hook when Jennifer first spoke about them from Amazon, and the only size I could get was an 8mm hook. I love it. I love it. So we were ordering some things on Amazon at the beginning of the year, as you do, sales and all that sort of stuff. And Ommi hooks came up. I must have still had one in my basket. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to try these things. So here are my 3 new Ommi hooks. So this one here, whoa, don't drop it, is a 5.5 mil. And nope, I've got that in the wrong packet. It just says it's an Ommi ergonomic handle, 5.5 mil. That's not right. Oh yes, it is. Oh, it's a 5.5 mil. There you go. And it's purple. Now look at all the beautiful swirls in that. It's gorgeous. We'll see it properly when we go inside down to the table, because I want to do a comparison. So that's great. I've got a 5.5 and a 5.5 in the Furls, because I want to compare what they look like, how they feel, and how they crochet. I'm a bit scared because my purple one doesn't have its case on it. The next one I bought was this one here. So they're in their wrong boxes. Now I bought this one because, again, I actually think maybe Crystal from Bag a Day bought this one. And this is the Beechwood and Resin. It's a new one. And it is a size 7mm. So the timber is beechwood. It has resin in the middle. And they've put it on a, words escape me, I know what the machine's called, a lathe. I can see it. They put on a lathe and they've shaped the handle. So that's a 7mm. And it is pretty, but it's not as amazing as I thought that resin in the middle would be. And the other one I bought, now this one I am scared about. This one is, I can't read what kind it is. But it's a timber one as well. It says it's a new item. I'll have to go back and have a look at my order. And it's a 3.75mm. Now, I'm a little scared of the hook on this, because it is a very, very sharp and tapered, not tapered, inline hook, and I'm a little concerned that it might snap. So we'll see how that goes. We'll have a closer look at this. We'll go inside in just a second. So I'm going to use my Mega Ball from Hobie. I love these things. This is a size 3 weight, so we should be able to play with all of those with this particular yarn. Again, this has come out of a project that's sitting on the couch in a basket, so I just grabbed this and I thought we'd use it. So let's go down to the table. Out of this wind, wow! And we'll go and have a play with the hook, shall we? Okay, let's have a look at the different types of heads. Sorry, I'm going to do that. Keep doing that, I think. Let's have a look at the different types of heads. So this is just one of my favourite hooks. It's just a cheap $2 hook from the cheap shops. I love size 5, 5.5. This one's actually a 5.25, but it doesn't matter what size it is. This is a tapered hook. This head is a tapered head. You can see that it has a nice curve, and the other one the other type, of course, is an inline hook. So we've got tapered and inline. You can't really see with that one. My Prim is a really good example of that. So this is a Prim size 7. I brought this over so that we could compare it to the one I just purchased. So this is a Prim, and I don't particularly like this. I think it was the yarn I was using it with. I think I've used it since I decided, no, I don't like that. But this is an inline hook. So the hook part here is in line with the shaft. They're normally quite pointy and very, very deep into this part here. Now, I can't for the life of me think of what it's called, of course, because I've come to talk about it.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Thanks, Siri, but we're fine.
You're welcome.
He's so polite. Okay, so that's an inline hook, which is very much what these Ommi hooks are. And I need a light surface. Let me grab this. You can see that better there. That's very much an inline hook. I didn't mind my 8mm one. Again, I haven't had much trouble with this one at all. For some reason, my light's just not quite right. And if I put it over there, oh, look at that, that's good. Okay, so you can see my Furls hook is also in line. It's in line with the shaft. And I really, really like this. Like I said, I didn't have any issues with my size 8 Ommi hook that I purchased. I really enjoyed. What did I make with this? It might have been a blanket, but I really enjoyed using that. I thought that's sort of pushed me to get these other sizes. So this is my 5.5. Oh, sorry. Now I don't know if you can see it or not. The colour is divine. But there's just the smallest amount of sparkle in there. Well, you can sort of see it. It's lovely. So we're going to compare these two, the 5.5 Ommi and Furls. We're going to compare the 7mm Prim and the 7mm Ommi. You can see how deep that is in there and how sharp. And then, I'll have to see if I can get I've got a 3.5 over there, I think. We'll check out this. It's very, very light. I'm a little afraid. We'll check out this. Let's see if that'll focus. This very, can you see how sharp? It's not going to focus. See how sharp that is? That is really, really sharp. And I'm scared that would snap. And I'm also very scared of the head snapping off too. But we'll see. Okay, let's put these aside over here so that they're very, very safe. And let's start with the Ommi. Let's start with the Ommi, and we're just going to do a little bit of a sample and see how this goes. So that light now is literally right in my face. Lucky there's a hole in the middle of it. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to see anything. So we'll just do, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little catchy on this yarn though. No, I've stopped counting. Alright, let's do some double crochets. It's a little catchy. It's a little unfair too because this is a resin hook and the one we're going to compare it to, the furls, is a metal shaft. So of course the resin versus the metal is not really going to give it a good comparison. Oh, as I'm turning that, I don't know if you can see it, but that glitter's catching my eye. It's gorgeous. I think if I use this, even though it's a 5.5, and this is only a lightweight 3 DK yarn, I think if I used a thicker yarn, this wouldn't be too bad. This should be okay to use with this. Let me just have a look at the ball here, the ball band. It says that, so it's a lightweight 3, use a 4 to 5 mil hook. This is only 5.5, but I think, honestly, it would probably do with a much smoother yarn and a little bit thicker yarn, and I think this would be okay. Seems to be quite sharp on the point, which if you're doing tight stitches or intricate stitches, that might be useful. Sometimes I feel like my cheapy $2 ones, as much as I love them, I just seem to pick them up. A little bit more yarn, please. They're not quite pointy enough on the head sometimes to do the things I want to do. Okay, so this works. This is pretty good. Like I said, if I use it on probably better quality yarn, because to be honest, the Mega Balls aren't the premium acrylic, but that's okay. It will do the job, and it actually washes up beautifully. Got a jumper, a cardigan. Alright, so let's swap that over for the 5.5 furls. Again, it's kind of cheating though, because the metal shaft against the plastic shaft is kind of not apples and... Oh, that was a very interesting ending stitch. Whatever I did there. Yeah, see, I can't compare. This is just glides and slides straight away. It's beautiful. I do love my furls hooks. Now Jen's gone off furls a little bit. I don't think it's the actual hook. I think she was having some issues with, got a big yarn bath happening in the middle of my, oh there it is. Yeah, just broke my ball band. There's a bit of a knot in here. Yeah, I think Jen still likes furls a lot. I think it's not the hooks. I think she was having a little bit of issue because she was an affiliate for furls. I think she was having a little bit of problem with the with customer service or something that was happening there. So I'm a little afraid to have the furls resin hooks, because I've heard that they do break, so we'll see what happens with these. Yeah, fingers crossed I'm not going to drop it, break it, bang it into Maynard's head, because, you know, he's a box head, anything like that. Yeah, see, there's nothing wrong with the Ommi, but comparing the metal shaft and the resin shaft doesn't do any. This thing just slides, just absolutely glides. It's beautiful. I find too that when I crochet a lot with my furls that I get into the habit of doing the twist with my hook, which makes my arthritis in my right hand not play up. So that's what they're made for, furls hooks. And again, these Ommi hooks would be the same, because they're built to be that ergonomic, to help you out style. Okay, so there's my 2 rows. Much of a muchness. I think it does crochet a little bit looser, and I think maybe the shafts, no, they're about the same. They're about the same. But again, I think the comparison between the metal and the resin isn't quite fair. Okay, So let's just keep going. We'll go upper size. So let's do now again, this is not going to really compare because this is wood, which also drags a little bit more than plastic or resin. So in the grand scheme of things, if you were to buy a good set of hooks, which my clover hooks are amazing for, and so are these furls, you'd go metal, resin, timber would be my preference. So alright, so I'm going to do a chain, and we're going to do some, let's do some half double crochets across the row and see how, yeah, already it's a bit draggy, but we'll see how we go with that. I'm not concerned about the metal, the timber. My concern is that this one's not as bad. This one's not very sharp, and it's not particularly deep. Let's see if I can show you this close up of this one. I am very concerned. That is very, very sharp. All right, let's do this, shall we? It's got a good feel in your hand. It's very light because it's made of that timber. It's got that little bit of resin in the middle. It's really hard to, it really is pulling, tugging. The first thing I thought of when I pulled these out of the boxes was, man, they could do with a good sand in there first. This is kind of not doing it justice either because we're going into a 5.5 mil. I have to move that light. I just can't. A 5.5 mil size hooked up to a size 7, so the stitch is going to be a little bit harder to get into. Oh, I was doing half doubles, wasn't it? See, double crochet is my go-to. This is really, really light. So if you struggle, because some people don't like the furls, for example, because they're very, very heavy. That is quite a heavy hook. That is really, really light. Really light. So if you struggle hanging on to things that are just that little bit too heavy, maybe a wooden hook would be the go for you. Yeah, not too bad. Again, not quite doing it justice because we're going into smaller stitches. So I might do half a row with this, the next one, and half a row of the prims and see how we go. Alright, let's do the true test. Chain 1, turn your work. Yeah, it's very draggy. Again, I think if you had a really nice quality premium acrylic, it is pretty smooth. I think that for me the inline head might take a little bit of getting used to, but it's not doing too bad. Yeah. Alright, we'll do 2 more and then we'll swap to the prim. Size 7. Got a bit of a flow up there. And this one, I think for some reason, although let's have a look. I don't know, for some reason when I was working, I can't remember what, I think I was doing some sort of a cluster stitch. Yeah, see, the shaft for me on this is too long and too draggy. Wow, I'd prefer that 7mm Ommi hook. Wow, I can't even get that through. Don't like it, I don't like it. Yeah, that is really a really draggy shaft on that. Alright. So far the wooden, I think, what did I say that one was? Beech wood and resin 7mm hook is a winner. I don't mind the 5.5mm resin as well, although it's going to be hard to beat this one. Now let's try, I'll have to pull this out, which is no drama because you can do that with crochet, it's so easy. We'll try the little hook. I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay, just pull it out. Now I can't find my end. There it is. Alright, let's try this, shall we? So this is the 3.75 timber hook. They're very, very pretty. They are very, very pretty. They are very, very smooth. Can you see that glitter in there, that sparkle? I don't know what I was expecting, but it is pretty, but yeah. Okay, let's try. I do have some very thin yarn somewhere. Oh, I see straight away. Give it a go. Don't be pessimistic. Alright, let's try this. Yeah, see, that's getting caught on that. Alrighty. Alright, let me go and get some smaller yarn. I'm so scared I'm going to break that. Let me just go and get some smaller yarn and we'll just try that one again, shall we? Okay, now I'm going to have to apologise because I just realised as I got up that my microphone is sitting over there on the table, so it sounds like I'm in a hallway somewhere. So I hope you can hear me okay in all of that last part. This is just a really cheap, I don't even know what brand it is. It came out of some knitting books, but my news agency, when it's time to send them back and the new lot come out, they actually, and this has always happened, I worked at a news agent when I was a teenager, it's going back a long time, they take the label off the front of the magazine. Excuse me, I sneezed. They take the label off the front of the magazine and then they throw the rest of it away. Hopefully these days they recycle. So anything extra that comes in the crocheting and knitting books and stuff, my newsagents put it in a basket and sell it off for really good prices. So I bought this stuff for school for my crochet crew, but it's really fine, very little. I don't think anyone except for maybe my advanced kids might use this, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I've got like 6 packets of it. So I'm just going to use this because it is quite a small weight of yarn. I don't know what it is, there's no description. So we'll just try this with this 375mm hook. Yeah, see, did you see that? It got caught straight away. Alright. It's very, very light. It's very, very delicate. Yeah, see, there's something going on here. That's just so sharp. And I don't know if I could fix it either without stuffing it up, basically. So, sorry, I'm not even on camera. Can't believe how delicate that is. All right, we're going in. Well, see, it's not doing too bad. I think it might be me more afraid of it than it doing its job. Probably take a little bit of getting used to. Like I said, I really like tapered. What sort of stitch is that? What are you doing? I really like tapered. Tapered heads. And so maybe I'm just a little afraid. And like I said, this just looks so delicate. But it seems to be doing okay. Well, since this is just a sample, we'll just do a double crochet like I was going anyway. Really is my go-to stitch. Wow, that's gone so little, look at that. But the head was enough to find that stitch, so awesome. I think you would really have to find the groove of where you're going to hold this. I want to hold it up here. I think maybe, there's a mark on it. I think maybe too, for me, it might be a very long shaft like this prim one is for me. Because, you want this part to be sitting in your hand. That's why it's got that bulby shape at the bottom, because we need it to be ergonomic. I'm so sorry if you can hear Maynard. He's chewing on a bone. Nardy, what are you doing, dude? Do you have to do that now? Yes, Mum, I do. Yeah, for me, I think this might have the shaft might be just a little bit too long for me. Because I want to hold it down here, put that bulby part in my hand. And I'm kind of holding it up here. So, wow, okay. I can't do that. Let's have a look. Now, my smallest furls are 4.5, so it is bigger. Yep. But let's just see how. See, don't throw it around, you'll break it. Oh my God. Let's just see how I go with this then. Again, foundation row 2, probably picked the wrong part to judge on. See that? Did you see that just slip straight through? Again, metal shaft versus wooden shaft. But I know. And see how the bulb part is sitting in my hand? That's what I'm looking for. Even though, yeah, see that 375mm is taller, a good centimetre taller. Centimetre and a half, not quite 2, I don't think. Taller, longer than the furls. And for me, the bulb part where I want to hold is too far away from the end of the hook. That shaft is very, very long. Maybe if I was doing something fine that was cluster stitches, that would work, maybe. But yeah, I think that one's going to be a pretty thing looking on the shelf sort of thing, unfortunately. Now, the good thing was, being on Amazon, it only cost me no, it didn't, $15. So, compared to how much you can pay for a furls hook, especially one of these Odyssey ones, I know if I was to buy a 375mm hook again, which one I would prefer. This is just amazing. Okay, so there's your comparisons. There's our look at our Ommi hooks. Look at that. That's just smooth and fast and just glides off on your hook. It's amazing. Okay, let's have a look and a bit of a recap what we were looking at. So here are my 4 Ommi hooks. The 8mm I've used with thicker blanket yarns. I'm sure I made a blanket out of this. Love, love, love it. We'll use it. My 5.5mm, I like it and I will use it. I might have to get some more of these. These are the toothpaste tubes, the travel toothpaste tubes that I bought just from the cheap shop. I think the pack of 2 of them is $1, something like that. And that's what I keep my furls hooks in. And I love it. And I think I might get some, I think I've got one somewhere, for absolutely this one. Again, I'm very scared of breaking this. But my 5.5mm Ommi, I will use it. I probably put it over next to my chair, whereas my furls hooks live over where my yarn is over here. Just to make sure I don't drop them, because I really want to look after them because they cost a lot of money. But I don't mind that. My 7mm, I don't know if I will use it a lot. I don't usually use a lot of 7mm anyway. The prim I have is not my favourite, so maybe this one will become my favourite. And this one is, I think is just going to be a look. Look how pretty it is. I think I'm going to be too scared to use that. Alrighty, well, that's our that's our hook review, our Ommi hook review. If you've tried these before, can you let me know in the comments and what you think? Do you agree that maybe the shafts are too long? Do you think maybe that the finish on the heads is not particularly good? I don't know. Can you see that it's rough too? I know it's not quite focusing, but can you see that it's kind of rough? There's a little spot just there. This one here, same thing. That's the first thing I thought when I pulled them out. Man, they need a bit of a sand, but I'm too scared. So timber ones I'm not particularly sure of. The resin ones I really do like, especially my 8. So that's it for me. Lee, tell me down in the comments below if you've got an Ommi hook, if you used them before, if you like inline or tapered hooks, and even what is your favourite brand of hook. I do love my furls, I love my clovers, but seriously, the cheap and nasty $2 ones from the cheap shops. Oh no, hey, This one's a boy. I didn't even know I had a boy hook. Where the heckers did I get that one from? That's a boy hook. I've heard of them. Didn't even know I owned one. But a lot of the coloured ones that I use are just the $2. They literally cost $2 at the cheap shops, and I love them. I've got a heap of different sizes. I've got a heap of 5 and 5.5s. I think 4.5, 5, 5.5s over there. When I teach my crochet crew, I use these, and I use the 5s to get the kids started. It's a great size hook. So that's it. That's my review. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope you join me next week. And I'll see you again later. Bye.